You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound.
Nope, today we're talking about Nessie!
I love that! That's a great way to do this. All right, guys. We jokingly said we were going to do a paranormal-themed podcast, and we were going to discuss current sightings of stuff happening, discuss what the thing we're talking about is, and then discuss if we believe it. Based on the title of this show, nope, you can assume we're probably going to disagree. But will these sightings make us a believer? Today's inaugural topic of the first season of Nope is going to be a discussion of a recent sighting of the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh.
Okay. Before we get into this, Sal, where do you currently stand on the Loch Ness Monster?
No. There is no Loch Ness Monster, at least not in the form you think. You know, some people think that there's like a brontosaurus walking around in there. Some people think it's some kind of aquatic sea beast. Again, no. Maybe it's some kind of a giant alligator or something. Nope, it's not. It's none of those things. I don't even think it's the thing that people are currently saying it is. Because I saw, I don't know if you know, I'll save it for later. But
yeah, we're going to get into that.
I don't think so. In fact, the most famous, some would call it infamous, picture of Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster, is a wooden thing. It's fake. Like they said they took a picture of it.
That's called the surgeon's photo, and I didn't know that. So myself, I am a huge fan of aliens, ghosts, cryptozoology, all of this stuff.
Totally.
I love all of the paranormal stuff. But
you're a skeptic.
I'm a skeptic. I'm a discerning believer. You know, I like to read into all of this, but I don't fully believe it all. I'm not all the way over tinfoil hat level.
Right. But you're agnostic.
Yes. But which is why I thought this might be a show we have here, which is why we were going to test it.
Yeah, why not?
Because I believe Loch Ness does exist. But as you said, not in the form a lot of people expect it to be, where it's a brontosaurus walking around. Right. I don't believe that. I also believe, based on the stuff that I have researched and looked into, Loch Ness died finally.
Oh.
Years ago, though. Years. Like, we're talking a while ago.
So you're saying there is no Loch Ness Monster, but there sure was one.
There sure was one. And I do think it was alive in more recent years, Sal. But we're going to get into all of that because there has been a recent sighting. I found a recent sighting of the Loch Ness Monster. So, to give people some context to know what the actual Loch Ness Monster actually is, I feel like we should start there.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, a lot of people know it as a dinosaur in Scotland, and that's the extent of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the Loch Ness Monster is the mythology behind it. A creature that has been locked into the Loch Ness, which is located in Scotland, the Scottish Highlands. Mm-hmm. It is 23 miles southwest of Inverness. The town it's around has made it into a giant tourist attraction. Okay,
as it should.
And it takes its name because the River Ness flows into it from its northern end. Right. The general belief is that the Loch Ness Monster is a prehistoric creature that in the prehistoric era, when the water was much higher, went into the loch and then got locked in as it was, you know, the tides were going down.
Which is a phenomenon that happens to sea creatures that should not be in particular areas. I remember as a kid learning that bull sharks can swim in freshwater areas. And so you'll find that when sea levels rise and they spill over into rivers and lakes, you can find rare instances where bull sharks will be in a river or lake where they absolutely should not. So there is a precedent set for why a brontosaurus might be in a Scottish 23-mile land lake.
Right, and that is notorious. Now, Loch Ness was believed, just like Champ over at Lake Michigan and various other creatures.
Oh, there's a creature in Lake Michigan too?
Oh, there's like 4 or 5 well-known ones. If you're into cryptozoology, Sal, maybe we'll go through the whole plethora.
I mean, I'm from Jersey, so I know about the Jersey Devil. I'm familiar with the Mothman, but otherwise, Chupacabra naturally, they're all over Mexico.
And we'll go through each of these and kind of look at the more recent sightings.
Oh, sure.
But today is just the Loch Ness. I will send these pictures to whoever gets to edit this to put up on an actual channel if it goes up on an actual channel. But for the sake of this stream right now, the most infamous photo that started the kind of craze that is Loch Ness. Because before that, it was just there's a creature in the lake.
Right.
But
and you just believed like some person you can't possibly understand says, that there's a monster in the lake. So
Right.
yeah.
And so what ended up happening was, I think it was the 60s or the 70s.
Are you talking about if you're talking about the surgeon's
gonna show the
photograph, that's from 1934.
Okay,
and it is
1934
87 years old.
So the surgeon's photo, which is this one right here, this is the infamous photo that created the true mythology and made Loch Ness famous.
Right.
Because there's no way to deny that if this was legit, that it was incredible looking.
Yep.
Like, this is like the most blaring evidence that we have a dinosaur in the Scottish Highlands.
And it's irrefutable. I mean, first of all, you can absolutely tell what it is just by looking at it. Secondly,
1934, Sal. This was irrefutable then.
And especially because you could tell, based on where it is in the water, from no visual landmarks.
I know.
I mean, that's my uncle works for Nintendo. Trust me. This is irrefutable. 1934. I mean, listen, you gotta understand, no video games, no internet, no phones, so it's like it was stickball and making up hoaxes about animals living in lakes.
And this went until the surgeon died and admitted that this was fake.
Yeah, he's like,
this
all
was
right.
believed to be the pure evidence that there is a creature in Loch Ness.
Yeah.
So that started all the rumors. Now, as time has gone on, we've not yet ever seen that again. And then it was admitted to be fake, which kind of killed a lot of the mythology and the rumors around the Loch Ness Monster.
Yep.
But it hasn't killed hunters looking for the Loch Ness Monster, because before that photo came from rumors that there is a creature in that lake.
Right. Yeah. 87 years ago or whatever, there had already been rumors about that freaking monster.
Right. Otherwise, he wouldn't have, you're not going to randomly just, oh, look what I found.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I love that, by the way, apparently this goes back to, even before the year 1000, people were talking about there being a beast in the lake. And I'm like, okay. So, let's take it at face value and say that it's only been, maybe 1934 is when it was first sighted, and it's only been there for a few years. It's been almost 90 years.
Yeah.
It would be dead. It's like Bigfoot. I saw Bigfoot in, the 60s. Yeah, well, he died. If he was ever real.
And that's a lot of where the mythology comes, because if that were the case, and it is surviving as long as it has been,
right?
The fact of the matter is, there has to be a family of them.
There's not just one.
One.
There's got to be multiples, and it can't just be there has to be multiples upon multiples, because otherwise you're going to have inbred creatures that aren't going to survive the decades we need to take blurry photographs of it.
So that's to let you know what the Loch Ness Monster is and where these rumors and sightings have started from. Now, this has been a booming tourist business for many, many years.
Yeah.
Which has led me to finding our current sighting.
Yes. So, you say that there's been a sighting of Nessie, aka the Loch Ness Monster.
So it's the 9th sighting of this year. Okay.
Oh,
and
I
didn't want to read the article until we did this live. So this is our first reactions to this.
All right, here we go.
9th sighting. Which is apparently the first time in 4 months. First time in 3 months. So it went dormant for 3 months.
Oh, it took a time off during the pandemic. Okay.
So this article is from the 30th of March, 2022. It's from Edinburgh Live.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a thing. It's not, tabloids as far as we know.
Okay.
As far as we know. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
A veteran monster hunter has recorded the first sighting of Nessie in 2022 following a dormant 3 months. I cannot pronounce his name. I apologize. Claimed to observe. Oh, it's Eoin O'Ferohagen. It's all over the place. So
it's Scottish. Sorry.
It's a Scottish name. That's all I could give you. Observed 2 objects moving parallel to each other on the surface of the murky waters while perusing the Loch Ness webcam. Okay.
Okay.
A county Dongal, whatever the county is, resident had his first sighting of the mythological beast more than 30 years ago and has had the incident chalked up on the official list of possible sightings, making the first time the creature has been spotted this year. 57-year-old shared the video capture of the virtual sightings, which shows dark shapes moving about the surface of the loch. Now, I'm going to show you this supposed photo.
Oh, I can't wait.
A flurry of sightings were recorded last summer. However, the winter months are usually a quiet time for the monster. The Plethrosaurus, or Plesiosaurus, whichever the dinosaur they thought it was, typically grew to a length of about 11 feet, according to fossil records. However, previous research suggested they're able to regulate their body temperatures in order to deal with colder climates.
Of course they'd have
He
to.
explains that the two objects moving parallel to each other almost across the middle of the screen. When one person commented that the clip could just be some logs, Eowyn responded that more northerly object takes a sharp turn to the left, leaving an unusual wake, and you would have to rule out a log or debris. So it's an object that just went off in a different, because it's not consistent of a seal to react in that manner.
Are there seals in the loch?
We're going to go over the things that are known to be in the loch in a second. But I believe I'll just do it right now. There are eels, European eels, northern pikes, sea sturgeon, stickleback, a brook lamprey, which is another eel, minnows, salmon, sea trout, brown trout, and Arctic char.
So no, there's no large, warm-blooded creatures in the loch.
No, that's all. That's the
jump
fish
into
species. Is there another etymology? That's only the fish species, but I believe they're
but that's
perch
probably
and roach. Yeah, it's not giving me a list of other animals around the loch, which I thought would be on the Loch Ness.
Like walruses or something. No.
Yeah. So maybe there are seals, but we'll see. We'll figure it. I'll just Google that.
Yeah.
Are there
seals?
seals on the Loch Ness? There is documentation of them, but they're not common.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There's actual photos of seals.
Okay. Cool. That would be exciting. If I lived in that area, I'd be like, whoa, it's happening. Oh, it's just a seal. What? Cool.
So anyway, they've discounted it as not being a seal, not being a log, not being debris. The register, which is maintained by volunteers, categorizes the sightings of the Plesiosaurus back to the earliest description in the 6th century when it was reportedly halted in its tracks by Saint Columba. Gotta remember, that's where it all goes back to, in the era when people believe dragons are real.
Yes.
Which they might be, Sal. Just saying.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait till you get to our dragon episode. You're gonna love my research on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Why does every culture have them?
That's one of the points. But anyway,
cool.
We'll get to dragons later, Sal.
All right, fine.
You could say nope to that later. The two black shapes were visible for 1 minute and 44 seconds, and then nothing was seen until another minute and a half when one black shape appeared briefly at the same line of the loch the two shapes were heading. The weather's quite good and calm, you can see from the clips. So, the clips are not available unless this video that's not loading is it, but since it's on a website for news, I don't think this is it. Mm-hmm. But here's where I think a lot of the theories that Loch Ness comes up. This is the chosen photo to represent that. Now, this doesn't sound like what they described.
This is not the photo that they took or...
I don't believe so, but this is the one the article chose to put up.
Okay.
So if you're a skeptic and you're perusing this article based on what I just read and you didn't even see you just saw this photo, you're going to assume that this is the Loch Ness photo, right?
Right. I mean, okay, so that's a fun recreation of what I imagine people want to see this creature to look like.
Right.
Again, it's brilliantly framed so that it's down. There's no landmarks nearby. It could be 2 inches. It could be 3 feet. But
and doesn't sound like this description they had off the webcam. That's not a webcam quality of 2 black images.
No,
like
it's not.
If that was on the webcam,
yeah, I would be like, what? That would blow my mind. But no, I do like that. That reminds me of like Destination Truth with Josh Gates, like that kind of image. And I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, do it. Yeah, that's a picture of a lake, and then they photoshopped in a Plesiosaurus.
That's what it looks like. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Here we go. I actually found the video. So we're going to watch the video here, Sal, okay?
Oh, okay.
The Independent has this.
Oh, good.
Okay, so here's the video, Sal, of your evidence.
Whoa.
It's still going.
Looks like some glitching.
It does look like fragmenting. I don't know.
Yep, that's fragmenting. That's not... No.
Can I increase the quality? Maybe No, I'm at 1080.
No, you're at 1080. This is
there it is. They got to zoom in. We got to zoom in.
Oh, good, yeah. Nope. Those are blobs. No, I'm sorry. You wasted your life.
So you don't believe that?
No.
That is the latest sighting of Loch Ness Monster.
Nailed it.
In my research that I've done before, the Loch Ness Monster is more recently believed to be an oarfish. Now, an oarfish, if you don't know, and it sounded like you're a little aware of what an oarfish is.
I am not. I don't know what an oarfish is.
An oarfish is pretty much a giant eel, which I guess is known to create the humps that people believed to be the Loch Ness Monster.
Okay.
But the problem is also not recorded as being in Loch Ness.
Right.
So oarfish is like, that's big.
That's pretty big. That would scare the hell out of me.
Yeah. So the belief is that the Loch Ness was a family of oarfishes, which are known to be bottom feeders, that were just kind of rising up and then diving deep down. Because the known issue right now, and unless this has changed, is that we can't get to the bottom of the Loch Ness.
Right.
The pressure gets too great, and it's too thin to let like submarines and things through generally.
Yes. That's
the only times, to add to the mythology, that we've ever had people go that deep physically was divers who came up so afraid that they refused to talk about it ever. Sure, convenient.
Yes, that's very convenient.
So the general belief has been that it is an oarfish that was down there, and maybe a family of them could have survived in the area and just eventually passed away, or they're there.
Okay.
Even that black blob could have been just maybe an oarfish swimming around.
Or an oarfish-like creature, since, as you pointed out, I think there are no oarfish in the loch.
Yeah, the general disputing against the oarfish is that it is not found in the loch. They tend to live in temperaments of tropical oceans, as opposed to the Scottish Highlands, which are too cold for them.
Right.
Also, there's saltwater fish. Honestly, for the years, that's what I figured it was. I didn't even look into it to see if an oarfish could survive in the loch. So we have now created me more of a skeptic of this situation.
That's fair. Now, interestingly enough, recently the internet has given way to a theory which I saw the other day, and that's why I was happy to talk about it, which is that apparently there's some plucky photography enthusiast took a whole bunch of pictures of what looked like the silhouette of the Loch Ness Monster in other bodies of water, and people thought, whoa, maybe this is the proof that we need. Well, it turns out it was just whale penises.
Oh, can I show that? Can you link me the image?
Let me see if I can pull one up.
Okay. So generally, even if it's not an oarfish, the general belief that I did a Google search of what could it be if it's not the dinosaur that everyone wants it to be.
Yeah.
What could Nessie be? Nessie is generally believed to be one of the many breeds of eels that do grow in the Loch Ness that have gotten larger than they should have and are just creating humps, which then move. Because the general sightings of Loch Ness, beyond the one image that makes him look like a
dinosaur.
A dinosaur is humps.
Right.
Which people believe, when doing a little bit more research on it, could just be eels coming, kind of like popping their backs up or their heads up.
Yeah, that I'd buy. I'd buy that, especially because I assume that there are no natural predators, that it's not a terribly overfished or over, populated. There's not a lot of places for eels to run into any kind of trouble that would curtail their population. So as a result, you'd have maybe a minimal amount of eels that are just unfettered in a larger environment, growing and bigger.
Yes, and that's kind of where a lot of the beliefs have gone to at this point. Like here, this is a good one. That's the kind of photos people have put out over the years.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fair.
So, for those who don't know, a lot of these creatures stem from back in the medieval era. They didn't know what these creatures were. They didn't know what animals were, and they didn't have a way to scientifically check anything. So it was believed to be dragons and Loch Ness and things like that. And as the years have gone on, we then got shaky footage, such as things like this.
Oh, that would scare the hell out of me, yeah.
Yeah, just to see humps coming up. So we don't fully know what those are as well.
Right.
And that's what's led to today, which is why you see far less sightings, because now we have a lot of more scientific technology to dispute or cause issues with things.
Right, yeah. Well, we can have a dedicated camera at every corner of the loch,
which is what they do now.
24/7.
They do. That's the webcams that they're all watching at this point.
That's right.
So, and this is, but I like to believe in mystery and things that we just have not found the answers to.
Yeah.
And I believe that there is something in the loch that stems from all of these sightings and in the theories and the appearances. Could it be a tourist trap? I don't think it's a dinosaur. I've never thought that once this came out.
Well, it ain't no dinosaur, and
I
unfortunately,
don't think it's a dinosaur.
And unfortunately, it's not a whale dick either, because whales don't live in the loch.
What's this deer doing? I think this deer's just running on water. Things like that, you see that in the medieval era,
Yeah,
and you're like, witch!
it's gonna blow your mind. I mean, like when you read the St. Columbia account, that one I like the most, because all the other ones are drunken man points and screams. But this one, the earliest report, this is of course sourced from Wikipedia, the 6th century, according to Adomnan, writing about a century after the events described. So a century later, Irish monk St. Columbia was staying in the land of the Picts with his companions as he encountered a local residents bearing a man by the river Ness. They explained that the man was swimming in the river when he was attacked by a, quote, water beast that mauled him and dragged him underwater despite their attempts to rescue him by boat. Columbia sent a follower, Luin Macumin, to swim across the river. The beast approached him, but Columbia made the sign of the cross and said, "Go no further, do not touch the man, go back at once." The creature stopped as if it had been pulled back with ropes and fled, and Columbia's men in the Picts gave thanks for what they perceived to be a miracle. No.
Nope.
That didn't happen either.
In order to end our inaugural episode, and
possibly the series.
Possibly the series if we don't come back with this again. Sal, did this turn you into a Loch Ness believer?
No, no, it didn't. But I did know more about the Loch than I did before. I do like the idea. You know, we have giant eels. We have what's the other thing? The giant squids in the ocean. Yeah. And I know there's like stuff in the ocean that we've never seen before, or that we can't possibly fathom, that are bigger than we can possibly imagine. Things that had pre-existed. I mean, like, I'm still fascinated by the dodo bird that existed not long ago.
Like 100 years ago, I think.
Yeah, it's like, maybe like, what a neat bird. Like, I wish we could see that and eat it. But I also appreciate that, like,
Kentucky Fried Dodo.
Oh, God. Can you imagine? It was big and fat. But better than turkey. But
I mean, there's a reason it's extinct.
Well, they were stupid and they were flightless. You could just hit them with a rock. It was done. They didn't think about farming. But yeah, no, but I like the idea of there being like a big ass eel or a big ass like family of eels. Like, I still love the idea of there being like someone just whistling and rowing a boat along the with a misty loch, and then just the boat capsizing and them disappearing forever, and something took them. Like, What was that all about? That's fun. I like to. Well, I mean, that's actually quite tragic, but it's fun to think about the idea of there being something we don't know and don't understand. But there ain't no dino in the water. No.
All right. I still think there's something out there that I'm unaware of. I'm sorry, but
something unexplainable.
I do think it's the unexplainable, and I think there's just too many questions about the Loch Ness. Now, like I said, I don't believe it's a dinosaur. If it was a dinosaur, we would have caught one by now.
True. True. Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Some poacher would have blown this thing up.
Yeah.
But there's something going on at the Loch Ness, in my opinion.
Something fishy going on in there.
But that is it. That is the first episode of Nope.
Nope.
Maybe the last episode. We'll see what the overall reaction is and decide where this is even going to get uploaded. We have no idea.
I have no idea.
But thank you guys so much. We will see you next time, maybe, right here at Nope.